Hero in almost 60 seconds, Aleph-Null. Humans have servitors, orcs have grots, elderly have caused the birth of Slanesh. So what pets do the Necrons have? That's right, canoptek spiders, and Aleph is the bestest girl among them. Let's have a look at what she's like in Tacticus.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Aleph's active ability makes her spawn 2 5-member scarab swarms on 3 hexes adjacent to her target, whom they immediately attack. The swarms deal 1 relatively weak hit of energy damage, but piercing on the initial attack, for each living scarab. The swarms have extremely low HP, but except for blast damage, any attacks can only kill 1 member per hit, making them a nightmare for 1-hit units. The drawback is that only some types of repairing can bring lost scarabs back. Aleph's repair and passive can. I am not sure about Gibberscraps and Anshi. However, what makes the swarms so dangerous is their active ability to spawn a whole new 5-member swarm. They seem to always spawn when they cannot attack anything, and are roughly 50-50 to spawn when they can attack something, provided there are 3 hexes around. On the initial Aleph summon, the 2 swarms will pop out next to Aleph, on either side of her. If possible, if those 2 hexes are unavailable, they will try to spawn as close to Aleph as possible. You may want to keep this in mind for positioning purposes. Aleph's passive repairs a random allied damaged adjacent mech after she moves, or at the end of her turn if she did not move. Just to point out, that means she cannot repair herself with the passive for free, but she can effectively repair up to 2 mechanical units per turn, or attack and still repair something, if you plan your turns right. Aleph has a mobility of 3 and only a melee, 5-hit attack, 35% pierce particle type, giving her a shorter reach of 4. However, with her flying trait and with Makatep around, she is often the most mobile Necron hero. As usual with multi-hitters, her attack stat is fairly low, but she benefits greatly from any attack buffs for that. Aleph has a below-average HP pool but a decent armor, and with the standard Necron set of weapon, defensive item and crit booster, she is fairly tanky against multi-hitters, but somewhat weak to single hitters who get around her armor. Aleph has flying, which improves her mobility at the cost of her not benefiting from trenches or tall grass, living metal, which makes her regenerate 10% HP at the beginning of her turn and turns her mechanical. She explodes when destroyed, making killing her in melee dangerous, and she is a mechanic, meaning she can repair an adjacent mech as her action for the turn. Aleph's most obvious use is to drop scarabs on a unit, ideally killing it and then having Makatep run in and have them act immediately with his active, potentially multiplying them and overrunning the enemy with sheer numbers. Her double heal will keep your mechs in the battle much longer, and this can come extremely useful in some Onslaught or Legendary Release event stages, where you can put her in a corner completely surrounded by 2 other mechs. Rivas and Golgorts are ideal, and just heal those 2 forever while slowly grinding down the enemy. She's also useful in some guild raids. Her and her scarabs' potentially high hit count combines well with Eldrian, and the scarabs being able to survive up to 4 hits and still multiply, or get repaired by her, makes her super effective against Mortarion, Rockbone, and Gibberscraps, although Gibbers tanks blast damage makes quick work of the scarabs. Finally, she is scary in PvP. If she can summon and you manage to clear away your opponent's multi-hitters, she can easily simply outlast the enemy while the scarabs greygoo them, especially with an HP buff in the tournament arena. In short, Aleph-Null is hands down the most versatile Necron hero, and you would do well to invest in her early on in your Tacticus career, as she is still useful in the late game. And that's the Canoptek Spider Queen of our hearts in 60 seconds, thanks to the Necrons' time manipulation technology. Thank you for watching and see you in the next web, Tactish Flyin'.